Hey you guys, let me show you how I make my shoe tying activity page and how long does it take me to make a bunch. I have already got the design of these totally done. I have it set up where you can do 8 copies pretty much at once really quickly. Each cut I do gives me 2 sets of shoes. So you can see me cutting them and just laying them out in my handy dandy tray there. I use my Cricut machine. I've got the template all set and ready to go. So I'm just going to get it all cut first thing. Also, if you are using a Cricut, you are going to see me here. I have my finger on the cutter. You're not really supposed to do that. My Cricut has been really worn out. I've used it so much, and I find that when I push down just ever so slightly, I add a little bit more pressure, it cuts cleaner. I don't recommend you doing that. It's probably not good for the machine. And this is the final cut. It's just a white sheet, and it's going to cut out 8 sets of all of the white pieces that need to go on the shoe. Now that I've got everything cut, I'm going to go ahead and get some 20 by 20 centimeter or 8-inch by 8-inch green sheets of felt. I buy them pre-cut in that size, so that saves me the time of having to cut them down to size. And I'm just going to place the shoe in place, put those little 2 side flaps in place, and just do one big stitch all around one shoe and then immediately onto the next shoe. I don't cut the thread in between the 2 shoes. I cut the thread after I sew both of them onto the page. Once I finish that, I get out my very thick 3mm felt that I purchased from my local fabric store. I try to buy it on sale because it's quite expensive. And I'm just cutting out strips of that 3mm thick felt so that I can use it as the binding pieces to hold the book together. And then I grab 8 other 20 centimeter by 20 centimeter sheets of felt in just whatever random colors to use for the back side of each of the pages. And I sew that binding piece in between the front and the back sheet of felt. And you'll notice I kept having these silly little issues with my thread. I don't know what was going on, but always annoying when that happens, but we move on. Once I finish the sewing, I put my sewing machine away, I get out my hot glue gun, and I'm going to hot glue the tops, those white tops onto each of the shoes and the soles of the shoes, or the little white circles at the bottom. Not sewing those on, it would take too much time, and it's really simple and easy to just hot glue them onto the page, and that hot glue is super strong. And then I use my hole punch to put 2 holes in each page, and then I pull out my white suede cord. I'm pulling pieces that extend from about my hand to my elbow, and I'm just lacing them through each set of shoes and tying the shoes. And there you have it, a few different colors for people to choose from for the shoe tying activity page. Whew, okay, I am sweating. It is a hot one today, and I just finished making 8 copies of the shoe tying activity page. I was able to make 8 of them in 1 hour and 10 minutes. I'm going to round it down to just 1 hour for the sake of easy math. Plus, I had to fiddle around with my phone for filming, and I also had to leave to go into my car and dig through some boxes to find my spool of white suede cord. So I'm going to take that away from the time it took me to make these, and I'm going to say it took me an hour to make 8 copies. To make this activity page, it cost me $2 in materials. That includes the thread, the glue, the felt, and the white suede cord. It also includes a 30-cent charge for me having to buy new Cricut mats, since I did use my Cricut machine to cut the pages. I sell it for $5 at the craft show, so that means for every page I sell, I get $3. I made 8 in an hour, so I get $24 in the hour. Now, I always add this disclaimer: that does not include the cost of the craft show. It does not include the cost of my sewing machine. It does not include the cost of my Cricut. It does not include the cost of my website. So I don't want to give this false impression that I get to just keep that $24. There are other expenses that I have to account for. I'm not going to get into that because those numbers are going to vary for you depending on how much you're paying for the craft show, whether you're using a Cricut or not, whether you're how much you spent for your sewing machine, whether you have a website that you're paying for. There's just too many factors there. So I'm talking about purely the cost of the materials to make this page alone. Now, since my last video, you guys have messaged me asking if you could buy some of my templates. I just wanted to let you know I am working on that. I'm going to set up a Patreon so you can subscribe and you can save yourself, if you're going to be selling these as a business, you can save yourself the hundreds of hours in design, because that's another thing that I'm not including in my time to make these. It does not include the time that it took me to come up with the design, to create it on Design Space, to optimize it so that I can make them efficiently in bulk, right? You have to put all the pieces together so you can get the most copies in the least number of cuts so that you can minimize the time that you are spending and maximize your profitability. So if you want to have access to my templates for making these activities in bulk, my best selling, most profitable activities that are the most popular, please subscribe to my Patreon. I promise you it will save you so much time if you are trying to do this as a business. It is totally worth it. So if you're interested in that, I will be announcing it on my YouTube once I have it ready. I'm just working on getting a good chunk of my templates uploaded to start with, and then I'm just going to keep uploading them. Having those templates all set and pre-made and ready to go to make it in bulk is the biggest key, I would say, to making these quickly. Also, on your first time around, it is going to take you a little bit longer to make these. I've made dozens of these copies of these pages before, so I know exactly what to do. I can make them really quickly. So if it takes you a little bit longer on your first time around, don't worry about it. You're going to get there really quickly. Okay, I really hope this helped you guys, and let me know in the comment, give me some feedback. Let me know if there's anything you'd like to see or anything you'd like to know. That's it for today. Please subscribe to my channel, like this video. Sending much love your way. Thanks so much, you guys. We'll see you in the next video.